guys, the next video that I want to do for you here on Earth Nails and Tails is a tour of our chicken run and chicken coop. And as you can see here, it's a basically 2x4 construction off of our shed. And I'm just going to go into some details about it, the key amenities that we have for our girls. So it's about a 9-foot by 7-foot run. Originally, we planned this to house 6 chickens, but now we have 10. But usually when you're planning out your run space, you want to give your girls about 10 square feet per bird if you're going to leave them in the run. We do let them free range most of the time, so that's not really that big of an issue for them. But if we did need to coop them up for a couple days, we could still do that in here. But again, recommended is about 10 square feet per bird. So right off the bat here, we have our access door. So we have a full, well, not full, but 6-foot door for us to get into. And then we also have this door that's on tracks here to just make it easier for the girls to come in and out in the morning and at night. So pretty simple. We have the door, it's actually made out of pallets and some leftover scrap wood, and we just made some tracks, and that door just slides, clips off at the top here, and we can just unclip it, and then that door just slides down. And that's heavy enough to keep the predators out at night, which is good. And then we can just slide it back up, and they can just easily go in and out of there. So there you go. Thanks, girls, for a proof of concept. So our access door here, we just have a basic, carabiner and a latch, and then we're in. So we have a pretty nice setup for them. We have, their food here in the PVC. It's a gutter drain PVC. It's 4-inch PVC. I actually got this design from Stephen Cornett over at Nature's Always Right, and I'll leave a link in this video below to his YouTube videos. Definitely an idol of mine, someone who I've been watching for a while. If you want to learn more about market gardening, selling your food from your garden for profit, he's definitely a great reference to go to. So shout out to him for these feeders. At some point in the future, I do want to make my own design for these feeders, because I usually buy 50-pound bags, and I just want something where I can take my 50-pound bag, dump the whole bag in, and walk away. These are a little bit more cumbersome the way you have to fill them, or at least the way that I designed these. So I just want to make that process a little bit easier. But these 2 bags, or these 2 feeders here, hold about, or close to 40 pounds of food total, so they do last quite a bit. Another nice feature that we have here is this PVC pipe with the chicken nipples or water nipples there, so they do have access to water while they're in their run. And we also put a spigot off here just so we can clean out their other water, which does need to be cleaned, and just have easy access in here while we're doing maintenance in here. So that's a really nice feature, and that comes off of our rain barrel, one of 3 rain barrels that we currently have on our property, which we use for watering and giving water to our chickens. So I'm definitely going to be doing a water on how to make your own DIY rain barrel somewhere in the near future, because I do plan on getting some more. We have some outside roosting or perching for them. We just made this chair out of pallets, so maybe that's something, a DIY plan I can make up if people are interested in that. And then we also have their staircase here, which I designed to minimize the amount of space that the stairs would take up, because their coop is pretty high off of the ground here, so I didn't want to just have one long track that went down to the base of the ground, because it's about 3.5-4 feet tall. So I did these staircases just to minimize space, and they also look nice, pretty nice too. Some things going into the coop. Again, we have one of those doors that are on a track. We rarely, actually I don't think we've ever shut this door, because we do have the run, and we haven't, luckily, knock on wood, we haven't had any problems with predators yet, so this stays open pretty much the whole time. But we did design the coop really well, where we put hardware cloth on the ground, and then we covered it with soil. So that way if a predator comes up and tries to dig into the coop, they're gonna hit that wire and it's gonna not prevent them, but agitate them and keep them away from trying to get into the coop. So far it has been successful. I wound up cutting a hole off of the shed wall here just to provide a little bit more ventilation, and then if it does get really cold in the winter, we can shut that up. But honestly, ventilation is way more important to chickens than the temperature. They can deal with very cold temperatures, but when it starts to get hot is when you have the problem. So ventilation, air movement is extremely important. And this whole thing is covered by corrugated plastic, so they are protected from the elements in here, which is really good. So before we go into the chicken coop, I'll take you around back real quick just to show you the rain barrel. So our rain barrel system actually gets its water from the roof of our chicken run here. We just have, as I said, the corrugated plastic, PVC, on top, and then we ran a gutter along the top down here. And then if we follow it back around, that goes to a 55-gallon rain barrel, which then goes down to our 3/4 inch PVC that you can get from Lowe's or Home Depot. So I wound up getting this 55-gallon barrel from a local here for I think around $10. And these are food grade barrels. And the really nice thing about these is they have a port adapter on the bottom, which you can basically get a threaded adapter and thread PVC right into it. So it's a super simple and quick modification, and I'm definitely going to be making a YouTube video to show you guys how to do that so you can get your own water on your property to feed your animals and for your garden. That's the best water that you're going to be able to provide for your animals and for your food. So I just wanted to make sure I showed you guys that, or give you a preview of that before I go into details in a later video. It's always good to be able to save water and collect your own rainwater for these purposes. So our chicken run is attached to our shed. One of the main reasons we did it is because we have this window here on our shed. So we can leave that window open, provide good ventilation through the coop, which again is extremely important. And also, since it's attached to our shed, it gives us good access to everything that we need on the inside. So some features that we have in here. The chicken coop itself is obviously built on the inside of the shed. It's about 9 feet wide and 3 feet deep, so a good 27 square feet. They usually say you want 2 to 3 square feet per bird, so we have plenty of space for the amount of birds that we have. But if you can, if you can go bigger is better. You want to give them as much space so they're comfortable, especially when they establish their pecking order. So underneath we have plenty of storage. We have a wheelbarrow here that we usually keep underneath there, and the reason why we have that is we have this trap door here. So I could just put the wheelbarrow under there, and then I can open this trap door, and that opens up to the coop, to all the bedding, and then I can just dump all of the bedding out into the wheelbarrow. So I'll show you that once I open it up. We also have our 3 nesting boxes up here. I think we might have a girly in there right now, so let's check. So we have 3 nesting boxes. Ideally, you want 1 nesting box for 3 birds. So I should probably really have 4 nesting boxes. Oh, we got one girl. Hi, Roops. So she's been broody on us lately, so she's been sitting here. But she's doing well. So as you can see, we got some eggs today. So that's good. I'm gonna leave her alone for now. So let's go into the coop here. So we just have a trifold door on this guy, so it's a very large opening, which gives us quite a bit of access to clean the coop out. So as you can see, that trap door is right there, so all I'd have to do is put the wheelbarrow underneath, open it up from the bottom, and then I can just scrape all of this material out into the wheelbarrow, and then this goes right into our compost, which is great, which then eventually ends up into our garden. So we have a really nice sustainable system going on here. If you don't have chickens and you are interested in getting chickens, I highly recommend them. As long as you do the setup properly, they're gonna provide you with great food and great fertilizer for your garden. So we have the roost up here, showing off again. So we have our roost up here. It's just made of a 2x4. So one thing about the roost is that I have had very much success with the 2x4s. When they were younger, we used some branches because they were smaller. But chickens, how they roost is they'll actually grab onto the front of the 2x4, and then they will rest almost their chest bone on the back of the 2x4. So that's how they balance, and that's how they can sleep properly. So you want to make sure that you have a wide enough piece of material for them to be comfortable when they're roosting. So definitely experiment with 2x4s, 2x6s, some tree branches, whatever you want, but just try to find something that they like and provide that to them. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the tour of our chicken run and chicken coop, and I hope you saw something that inspired you to either make your chicken run better or make your own chicken coop. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share, and I'll be sure to leave the link in the description of our Instagram and our website in the video's description below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.